सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and FIDE Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Session to this intermediate training session. So, Veerbhadra Singh, Amitabh Patel, and Ramakrishna. Good morning. We will discuss some positional themes. Basically, every game has a message. If you analyze a game, you find a specific positional feature there. And most of the openings are designed based on these positional features. Suppose you play the Ragozin system of Queen's Gambit, or they call exchange variation Queen's Gambit. White has minority attack on the queen side and black has king side attack. And in some variations, like Kasparov sort, white plants a king side attack. But the plans and counter plans have been found by both sides with the evolution of theory. जैसे जैसे टाइम जाता है नया नया मूव आते रहता है. आज नोवेल्टी है व्हाइट इज बेटर, कल नया नोवेल्टी आता है ब्लैक का, सो ब्लैक फाइट्स बैक. And also people follow the normally the highest rated player what Magnus Carlsen is playing, very important, because they look tomorrow Caruana becomes champion, they will follow Caruana, it is the trend. So for example, Benko Gambit was not so much played in India, but Viswanathan Anand lost the first game in the FIDE knockout, first game with IM. That means if the second game is a draw, Anand is out of the World Championship cycle. So Anand with black pieces played the Benko Gambit and won the game. And suddenly, a series, a number of players, numerous players in India started playing Benko Gambit. They studied and played. So there has to be a Philip. There must be, everything changes by a simple one game that brings a wave. So I want to show you the strategy, and I will come to this opening waves later. For example, Berlin defense simply was not played at top, but Kramnik beat Kasparov 2 games in the match and drew two out of four, or 3 out of 4 points. So suddenly it is in international circle, everybody started playing Berlin. Okay, now let me take you to some games of strategic themes and I'll discuss. Hello, Keval Chitara, Vivan Vishal Shah, Baksal Parik, Suresh Bhai Chawda, good morning. The first game I present to you is Petrosian versus Smyslov in the USSR Championship 1961. Smyslov was former world champion and Petrosian was coming up very fast. In 1963, he became world champion by beating Botwin. Let us see this game. I think the black's move order is not the best because here after the move d4 b6 it will, so it is better you should have played bishop. The move order, this is ready to castle and transpose to a Nimzo Indian, so not the best way. Okay, still bb4 was good move anyway. Now he has stopped and white is giving a positional threat. What is the threat? White is giving a threat of playing d5. For example, if black will play and this position is terrible. Now castle e4, it is just having no counter play and the bishop is poorly placed, no counter play. So it is a very bad position. I mean, so it is essential you must play d5. Only move. Take. Now it takes with the knight. Pawn into playable, but bishop remains passive. This is not good. It is okay. This pawn structure is okay if the bishop is on e6. This is okay. Next move c5, just like in similar to Tartakova variation. So this is not good. Knight into. The idea, of course, you can play normal move, but create a weak point in the camp. Knight d7 loses material after knight e5. Knight d7, knight e5, bishop c8, queen a4. Castle cannot be done. Knight c6 is coming. So that is terrible position. Now after the move knight here, he loses material. Not material. Basically, knight f6 can come. Now you cannot play knight c6. You have to go back, and now the position is not so good. Not so good. Already bad position. Pair of bishops and a lot of time and center. Rook b8, e4, e5. It's crossing. So you have to weaken the structure. This knight square is gone. White is better. Even Kasparov did same thing with Ponomary. So now takes now takes. You have to take with the queen. Pawn into will be weak. Pawn will be there. After pawn takes, queen c2, white is better. So it takes with queen. White is better. Now the point is, white has a lead in development also because white pieces are all ready and white start giving threats. Cannot castle. Cannot castle now. No trick will work. The discovery fails. If you do some knight comes to e5, I think bb5 check is just bad. So even here queen a4 check h6, ready to castle. Now I will tell you that position the king is not very safe. Black king, even after castle. Castle. What else? Anything is now getting bad to us. So castle. The queen has again attacked. I showed you the game once between Lazos Portis and Hubner. Now queen has to wonder where. Because you go queen c7 also problem. You will come on the rook's line, c line. So he plays. Of course, queen c5 and queen coming. This was coming to h5. It was desirable. More stubborn, but player played this. I want you to find a plan here. The position is plus minus. Everything changes. Everything changes if there was a knight here. The position absolutely nothing, no problem for black. I told you yesterday, guard near the king. But now the king is the target. What should you do? Hello, Vivan Vishal Sir. Now somebody suggest what should white do? You have got all your pieces. Acha, ready, ready. They are all ready. Ready. Ready for action. Somebody please suggest a move. What should white do? After getting a good position, you need to make a plan where I should make progress. What should I do? And then, according to the plan, you make your moves in that direction. Can you hear me? I am asking, am I audible to you? क्या आप सुन सकते हैं मुझे? The, now the plan is to attack the black king because black there is. Hello, can you all hear me? Why don't you answer? I'm asking you all. You have to suggest me a plan. Anybody? You should simply, there are many plans. This is a plan. There is so many plans. You can bring. There are many plans are there. You place queen. Idea. I want to come here and weaken the king structure. The castle position. Am I going live? Nobody is answering. What is wrong? क्या ये लाइव चल रहा है? Nobody is answering. I don't know whether it is going live. क्या बात है? Or can you hear me? Hello? Okay, am I going? Can you hear me in the class? Yes, sir. We can hear you and you are audible, but I think you should reload the live chat as we have sent. As okay, okay. I have sent messages, okay, okay. I will see. Thank you. Something is wrong. I'm unable to go and share the chart. Something is going wrong. I cannot read the chart. It is not getting updated. Okay, so I think there is some maybe hello, Suresh bhai. अच्छा कमेंट लिखा तो डिलीट हो जाता है तो मैं वो मैं इसको ये करता हूँ मैं अपना इसको बोलता हूँ कौन एक्सपर्ट को ओके अर्पित भाई गुड मॉर्निंग। तो एक्चुअली वो बच्चे लोग चार्ट लिखते हैं ना, कुछ कमेंट तो डिलीट हो जाता है। हाँ, वो कमेंट आई एम अनेबल टू सी। वो 8-10 कमेंट आया, उसके बाद होता ही नहीं अपडेट। हाँ साहब, क्लास चल रहा है। ओके, थैंक यू। Okay, the I have told our expert and he will try to sort out the issue. So okay, never mind. So let's see. Now I will till that time I'll keep going. There is no fun unless there is interaction. So anyway, so this is important that he comes now. Queen. You have to play G6 only move. F5 is not possible. Now further we can. You have to now the threat is bishop into G6. Bishop into G6 threat. So again, the threat is still bishop into g6 threat. Bishop g6 and queen e6. So he comes f5. ये जो नतीजा है, this is because there is no guard near the king. And now bishop. I don't think it is defense is possible. There is no defense possible. Take, and it defend. But now it is very easy to attack because the bishop is in the line of the king. This line in the king. So you need to hit at this point. That's all. Just e4. Idea pawn takes pawn and queen f5. So queen comes. Anyway, pawn takes. Rook comes. I think this also should win. Maybe this also should win, but this is much stronger because now threat on e6. There is a direct coming pawn into and winning. So the only move. Anyway, pawn into queen met by bishop e6. Check first. So over. The piece is lost, but there is too much of initiative. Too much. Cannot take that. You cannot take after the move. It is he cannot take with the rook, he cannot take with the bishop. He cannot take with the bishop and taking with the rook, then queen h5 check, queen h7 check will finish. Now the only move is rook. Okay, then queen. Now if you come here, queen. Now you come here, this is winning. This is should win again. Okay, I will come to the this is the whole point is this shows that there has to be a guard. Yesterday only I told. ये जो position है, there is no guard near the king. So a player should be very careful about this sort of feeling. Okay, next. I can see. So I'm sorry about it. The technical problem. What happens? There is some column is there that it is meant for kids or not meant for kids. So when you meant for kids, I think the comments are not possible. So I don't know whatever it is. So we'll check it out. Now let me show you a game. Capablanca is white and a group of players, a black. So Alice. So Capablanca simply outplayed the entire group positionally. Completely positionally outplayed. लंदन 4-5 प्लेयर वर्ल्ड चैंपियन के साथ भिड़ गए। देखो पोजिशनल प्ले, पावर ऑफ पोजिशनल प्ले। Just Capablanca never paid serious attention to opening. He just wanted to castle quickly. One game, Capablanca and Reswski, Capablanca won the game. But would you would you believe the first 8 or 10 moves, Capablanca had taken only 2 minutes. 2 minutes for the first 10 moves. Reswski 58 minutes. In 1 hour, 10 moves were made, and Reswski 58 minutes. And still Capablanca won. So he had a very good feeling for opening. He did not bother. But his middle game brilliance was extraordinary. You know, Fisher was like Capablanca. I must tell you a story. Bobby Fischer, he used to play for the US team in Olympiad. In one Olympiad, Fischer was very young, you know. He was maybe 16, 17, 18 that time. 1943 means 17, 18 year old. So the team of grandmasters of America, there were five grandmasters and Fischer. Very, very good team. So Fischer was playing a Mongolian player. Fischer asked, "What is your name?" Chang Chong 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 something people. Then Fischer did not could not get it. He was saying again asked, "What is your name?" Chang Chong Chong. Then he said any Mongolian player because he cannot spell any Mongolian player. The first word. And then at night all used to gather and they used to show their games. So Fisher will show his game with comments. I played this, this is the plan, I played this is the plan, this is the plan. So at one point, Fisher told he used to make fun of his opponent, which is not good. Let me tell you, one should respect the opponent. We are playing a game of chess. So Fisher called him this pizza. Made a move and Fisher burst into laughing. The opponent move was very normal and logical. Very normal and logical. Simply the grandmasters did not understand why Fisher is laughing. He laughed so much that he started going to the floor, jumping. He fell out of his chair, laughing, laughing, went to the floor, still laughing. Then they did not know what is wrong with the position. Then Fisher came and showed the refutation. The game is all getting worse. So it is important. Now I am unable to see chart still again. Okay. So Capablanca's middle game brilliancy was so strong. Fisher was like that. Look here. This is orthodox defense. Not a good move. The idea is to play pawn into pawn and then b5. So black is waiting. If you play directly, then white gets a good game. Bishop takes pawn, castle, etc. So he is waiting. So that bishop comes to e2 or d3, take and b5. So white also waits. So now you take, I will come directly. Castle. So white waits. The fight for tempo. White can also do rook here. White can also do rook, but this is giving a threat. Straight away, my 1, 2 again gunning. I want to take, and then lot of problem will come. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes, bishop takes. So knight so there is already so you have to play now. You cannot keep on waiting. Or you play c6. Or you play c6, which is passive move. After a6, c6 is bad. So the fight for tempo, white won. Weakness. When you push the pawn, they become weak. They create weak squares and they are overextended. So these are the things you. अभी बुधवार को करो अभी क्लास चल रहा है मंगलवार को अच्छा ठीक है मंगलवार कभी आया कितने बजे 2 बजे हाँ ठीक है so here now overextended pawns and weak squares so force if you take it the problem of a pawn a6 pawn so pushing timing knight into otherwise bishop check will come now bishop into bishop white is better strategically white has got a clear superior game center you have to take otherwise retreat now he is trying to get rid of the weak pawn idea this is getting bad now he will plan to sit down rook here castle and rook double the end game will be worse after you play queen d5 also is bad take castle rook c1 so he decided to play c5 temporarily giving the pawn now rook c8 will come he will try to regain the pawn now there is a discover attack and pawn there is an attack on the pawn and discover check and taking so now he has got the pawn back but the position the queen is misplaced. A player should avoid a diagram where your queen or rook is in a bad square. The material equality is established, but the position is very bad. I want okay. It has started. Now thanks to our expert Arpit Bhai Patel. Now I can see the chart. Thank you very much, Arpit Bhai. Thank you, Arpit Bhai. Thank you very much. So now I can see the chart. Thanks. Okay. So here means a queen. So queen h5. Bishop no any 5 was not winning queen at that point. Any 5 was winning queen. Any 5 was winning queen somewhere or in the earlier game. Okay. I will check it. I will check it. So I will check it in the earlier game. I will check. I will go back now because the chart I could not read it. So first let us see this game. Now black will get the pawn, but this is a very bad position. You know, the player should not think of only material. The king is without a guard. The most important powerful queen is in a mess. So, right, forcing a weakness, forcing a weakness. Now again check. You know the threat is this queen coming here, queen coming here and winning the game easily. Or here it is winning the game. So you have to stop only move, only move, and it is lost. The end game is lost. Good night, bad bishop. This is a theme. I'm white is practical playing with extra piece, the king, and also superior minor piece. This is bad. Defend the pawn. Now exchange the active rook. Exchange the active rook. Now black cannot create any threat, and white is positionally crushing him. A player, you know his style. For example, if you give it to Mikhail Tal, he will handle it differently. If you give it the position to Mikhail Tal, he will handle differently. Now, for example, there is a threat. So he may play here, and now this Tal would not do this. You know, this is a different style, but positionally squeezed completely, and now winning the game. After the move, rook exchange, I don't think black can create any threat now. The position is hopeless. Hopeless. It should win. One extra pawn and no attack. Okay, I will go back to the earlier game. I would like to see where is there any way, is there any way that you are winning quickly. So he says why queen h5 at that point. Okay, here queen. Where is queen h5 has come? Oh, you are talking of that end game after this. Oh, you are talking of the end game. So I was showing the variation here and now. So in the game, okay, what happened? What happened? Why? So he says any pie is winning straight. Why queen h5? This is a position. What point you are talking? Okay, king into g6. This is the variation you are talking. This is the variation you are talking. Takes. Okay, yeah, yeah. I agree with you. There is no need to attack. Simply knight e5 is winning. Yes, Rishabh Manot. This is just winning material. There is no need to go for attack. Correct move. This is correct move. Okay, all right. I'll leave this. Hmm. So ये तो हो गया. Now I want to show a game. Williams tennis. Okay. So basically tennis was a strategist. Tennis is the first player in chess history to lay down the principles of opening, and he was favorite of Bobby Fischer. Fischer studied the games of tennis. You may not find tennis games interesting, but strategically it had depth. Tennis was first world champion and strategic depth. But when he grew older, he had some funny ideas. He said, I am in contact with God, telepathy. Some people get funny idea. So he has said, I'm in contact with God by telepathy. Okay, so here this game Stein is goes for a singular strategy. Classical. Modern players they play knight f3 and b3, queen d2. Hang on to the d4 square. So I'm not discussing the modern theory. Knight f3, knight c6, now b3. Now here you play rook b8. Is more modern. Idea a6 b5. Idea a6 b5 and b4. Or you can also play queen b6 in any case. So this is in this case it took the form, not the best way. He is giving a threat. Pawn f5 is a threat now. In olden days, they used to play for method. The modern players will simply reject this position. Must play, otherwise pawn d4 comes. Must. Okay. So white is better. Forced. Forced. All series of force moves. But actually, I will tell you, black has played a lot of weak move, like NB4 was a very weak move. So anyway, black is trying to attack. What should you do? The black position is bad. I want you to find a plan how to take the initiative, how to plan and punish black. Please suggest me a plan. Getting a good position is not enough. You need to find the plan. Okay, Devers is here. Welcome. Can you find a plan here? What is the correct plan for white? How should you make progress? There are three stages, rather four, five stages in the game. After the opening is over, you evaluate the position, who is better, why, then you make a plan. If you think your position is worse, you try to improve your position. If you think your position is good, you plan to take initiative. So I believe the position is good for white. What should you do? No, no comment. No comment. Somebody has to suggest. Okay. Again stuck हो गया. I don't know. I don't know. Again got stuck. Okay. So here knight is the correct move because there is no way you can do any sacrifice. So very nice handling. The knight is doing nothing there. The knight is doing nothing. Makagano theory. The piece knight comes to correct place. Plus the position is now plus minus. Now there are many threats he is giving. Knight c5 threat, knight c6 threat. Even sometime I can prepare to give a sacrifice on e6 also. Knight takes, knight check, and pawn e6 check. There are several threats he is giving. Knight f5 is coming. This is one threat. This is second threat. This is third threat. There are so many threats he is giving. So you can see Capablanca, he always takes, this is the point. At this point, critical moment. Suppose you take normal moves, rook c2, rook c1, double, nothing happens. And there is no break on the king side. So, and this is not dangerous. So the correct move that the knight comes to b3. And after that, it is really bad. So, it comes knight, knight. Now many threats. I think this is also possible, but he didn't want to exchange. After knight into takes knight check and e6 check, this is also possible, but simplifying the position is bad because black is cramped. When opponent is cramped, avoid unnecessary exchanges. So this is really good. Plus minus. Now black cannot do anything, and he has taken seize the file. Now after that the combination will come. I can play normal, even queen c7 exchange and win the game. This piece is the Taras formula. कुछ भी नहीं है उसका scope. You cannot say this is a double bishop advantage. Two bishops are both the bishops are no scope. And good bishop is gone. The position is simple. Now, giving life to the other piece by h4. Finish. You play queen into queen only move. Otherwise, you'll get mated soon. Only move. Rook check threat only move. Nothing happens. You cannot play. You cannot play that move. Rook d7. It is hopeless. Rook d7 hopeless. Rook into rook. Rook check. Rook into d8 and bishop. If rook d7, rook c8 check means only move. Go resign. He can resign. So I will tell you that a player should exploit the open line. But actually, I will tell this is opening error. This position is bad. See, this is trying to opening. This is bad. See, this is, I would not give pawn into pawn. Okay, this is bad. Going against the principle, basic principles. Okay, next. A very famous game. This game has found a place in many chess books. But I will tell you, you should go to the correct theme why the game has been famous. Okay, the opening is not great, but it's okay. Black is better. Better in the sense the center. Now it takes black has better center and more active open lines. He has got more open lines and a better center, more active. White is underdeveloped. This was played in the World Championship 1907. Frank Marshall, he was the one of the topmost player of USA for maybe 30, 40 years. He was the number one player of USA. for 30-40 years. But he had a particular weakness in end game area. He was not so strong in end game compared to his middle game and opening ability. I mean, in order to become a world champion, you have to be very good in all departments. So, if there is end game weakness, opponent will simply exchange pieces and or choose a variation where the end game is coming. So that is the where he had a problem. But he was a great attacking player. He has produced lot of opening ideas and a great attacking player. Middle game. So here it comes very well strategically. Laskar was world champion and playing perfectly. Forced, you must surrender the piece now. You have to surrender the piece. Other moves are just bad. Okay. I want you to think what is strong point of black, what should black do? What should you do now? Now the problem is, I will tell you, if you look at the material factor, practically one double pawn is not a, you can count on an extra pawn. The main point is that bishop is a vastly superior piece when pawns are on both wing under developed. This and active pieces. Now the remaining after taking exchanges. Now the position it is practically lost only. Practically there is not. I cannot demonstrate force variation and it is bad. You can see this is move now. How many moves he will get collapsed quickly? 18 moves, now 19 moves. Count 19 moves. In another 6-7 moves, white will be in such a bad position. Would you believe the rook is coming so fast to king side? So, attack. You have to play b6. Now, rook coming. Okay, you whatever you do, it is bad. Suppose you play some move, knight d2 is, knight a3 is just losing that game. Losing that game. One pawn. The strongest move is knight d2, but even after this, white is better because now if you play knight, then I will play bishop to a6. So you have to come only move, only move. You cannot play c4 and pass only move, and here is better. White is better. That you can see how fast the game is getting developing. Tempo. Now the point is, if you delay, rook will come and cut off. He will put up a lot of fight. So before he comes, now black is playing with three pieces. Black is playing with three pieces. White is practically playing with one piece because knight has no effect. And then the rook will come to third rank because this is operation here. We can. You play a4, rook b1, rook b6. Everything statue. Now the king is coming. Next king to d4, king e5, rook f6, finish. Finish. Now rook exchange is forced and the king enters. If you have played rook here, that is also losing. This also will lose quickly. Take and bishop to d1 and zugzwang. Lost. Superior minor piece, active king. Zugzwang. Now this is a zugzwang. Nothing moves. Knight doesn't move, you lose the pawn. d3. King doesn't move, king entry. No pawn move. This is zugzwang means no good move. There is no good move. Now this place another this is demonstration very easy. One by one. Next king coming and another zugzwang is preparing another zugzwang. Finish. Now create a pass pawn. King take a pass pawn has been created. Finish. Simply there is no answer. This is falling. You should resign. So it is important that a player should see zugzwang. The move 16. I would go to move 19. 19. Yeah. This diagram you must have seen lot of positions. This diagram in endgame books, Dorosky's book, this book, that book, so many books. Simply the position is very bad for white. Okay, I can't read. I don't know. Afternoon, I will try to sort out. Yeah, now the chart is coming. Chart is coming. Hello, Tirtsa. Black might have played f5 after queen a4. So where is queen a4 is come? Where is queen a4? I don't know where is you are talking, which game. Okay, never mind. So I will go to the next game. Actually, the same match. This is actually I need not say. Laskar simply outmaneuvered Capablanca. I mean Marshall. So this is just very easy system. I mean here this is the Laskar system. Laskar system coming exchanging the pieces. White actually correct move. I will tell you the theoretical moves. Now after the move e3, now here he plays this. Maybe here maybe the move h6 is interpolated nowadays before playing knight e4. Okay. Now the more correct move, queen b3. Rook c1. This is the more correct move. Rook c1 and white is little better. Plus equal. This is little better for white. But anyway, this is not good move. Now preparing to open up by dc and c5. Black is comfortable now. White has not taken any advantage of the opening variation and black is very comfortable. Cannot accept that pawn. Okay. Plus black is better. Okay, I will just show you this idea that wrong opening variation, I mean move order can give an advantage, but this is 1907, so theory was not known to many people. Okay, now I want to tell you what to do for this position. This Salage versus Reddy. Unnecessary. These are all series of unnecessary moves. Unnecessary moves. The position, first of all, when you play d5, e5 is good. E5 is get better. Unnecessary. Unnecessary exchanges. Now you are helping black. Unnecessary exchanges. Okay, now I will tell you why such things becomes bad. Now black need not castle. Black is playing with extra piece. Only move. Now the position, the king in center, and the point is, if the pawns are mobile, if the piece structure was different, what could have prepared? Let imagine his king on e2, rook on c1, and the bishop was somewhere free, rook c4. It is not coming. So his queenside majority of useless, and this gets very good game. Wandering up and down. So planlessly is playing. Force. Now bishop cannot move easily. Point is, it is provoked in such a way, rook cannot leave the bishop, bishop cannot move, the pawn cannot push. So this is paralyzed position, and he has to bring the king. It is too much time taking. So giving a threat, pawn push, e4, very well played, excellent play. If you take immediately, there is some counter play. If you take it here, rook check will come, counter play. Excellent, excellent play by Reti. Reti was a potential world champion. Reti, Richard Reti. But he died very early, heart attack. A common disease for chess players, heart attack. Many players die very young. Leonard Stein died very early. Now, this is pawn, bishop, rook, and king. Everything will now destroy the white king. Now, I want to go. This is becoming a salter for me. A salter. And then pawn push all over. Check. Threat is check. Now is to stop the threat. Now you cannot take that over. The end game is lost, the middle game, and now if you take bishop and bishop, lost or mate. So this is very nice handling by Reti. Sir, I know this one. There is this game in a book of end game of Jeremy Silman. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I can now the comments I can see at least. Next I will go to Bernstein versus Mises. This is a game played in the year which year it was played? 1904. But it's a beautiful game. Osip Bernstein was a very good positional player. Not Bronstein, Bernstein. Of course, we know that knight b5 is more correct. Modern theory. You should not exchange unnecessarily. But anyway, it took white is slightly better because of the badly played badly played moves by black. So a repetition. So you want to avoid repetition. The position, the whole point I'm showing that that with two bishops and pawns on both wings, white has an advantage, positional advantage, a timely move. Black strength is if you castle after castle e5, I think black is wonderful. This is really good now. No problem for black. E4 will come, b5 will come, he will castle. So it is timely. He has to stop that e5 move. Bishop f4 is not the best way because you leave the b2 pawn unprotected. So he played e5. I overwrite it. I overwrote it. So here, very well played. Welcome to exchange. Now the position is of color complex. The black square domination. This is a complete total domination of black squares. And white is practical purpose playing like with an extra piece. Notice that at this point, a4 stops and fixing the pawn. You cannot push any pawn. Push so timely. Actually, total squeeze, such position, even though the material factor is equal, black is very badly placed. Forced, he is giving a threat. He is giving a threat. King here and then f7. So, the only move. Thanks to the bishop, इसका ताकत पे ये दादागिरी कर रहा है. बिशप का जो यहाँ पर कंट्रोल है, तो ये दादागिरी कर रहा है. जुगजुआंग है. इट इज हैविंग नो मोबिलिटी. कुछ भी नहीं है. यू कैनॉट मूव किंग. एक पॉन चला जाए. द रूक हैज नो गुड मूव. So it just gives one-sided story. So I will tell you that such positions comes in a particular line. Some other particular opening variation. This similar structure comes. Not French also, but I will tell you. Okay, I leave this. Even Queen's exchange, the position was hopeless. I want to give you now another one. A typical IQP. IQP. Master Jonko Borowski was a very good coach, and he wrote some 4 or 5 very good books. I mean, how to play the opening in chess, how to play the middle game in chess, how to play the end game. Then he wrote another book, How Not to Play Chess. He was a good coach, and excellent examples he has given in his books. The Art of Combination by Jonko Borowski. But one thing story I must tell you, Jonko Borowski, he criticized one of Capablanca's games, commented badly. He said Capablanca he is not such a brilliant player. He is a wood pusher. Wood pusher. You know. Then somebody asked Capablanca, so sir, John Koborowski said like this. Then Capablanca said that I wanted to write a book about the best games of John Koborowski. I wanted to write a book about the best games of John Koborowski. लेकिन बेस्ट गेम मिल ही नहीं रहा है. मैं ढूंढता हूं उसका बेस्ट गेम मिल ही नहीं रहा है. That means he is not a good player. So it is war of words. Anyway, It doesn't matter, but he was a good coach. He has written excellent books. Hello, Kamal Makecha, Nilagadi. So, the phobia about the isolated pawn. For example, here, now if you take pawn into pawn, d4 would have come. Pawn d4 will come. So, now again, take pawn into pawn d4 is very active. So, good. Now, I will tell you, a player, these are strategic mistakes. You are looking for isolation. White should go for active piece play. Number one, should not exchange pieces so that action will not be there. Attack and activity will not be there. White should avoid unnecessary exchanges. White should have a firm grip on the square. This should be a target. So the square in front of the IQP is very important. Should avoid unnecessary exchanges. Should take a total grip of the square so that the IQP does not advance. And then, no, this is I'm saying wrong. I think white is exchanging pieces. It is not bad because IQP is coming. So comes here. This is okay. Normal course it has come. Want to get rid of the problem. Want to get rid. This is losing track of the game. This is bad move. He should have better played here knight. This was more better. At least stubbornly will sit down. A bad move. Another bad move. In those days, the 1900, the square weakness, pawn weakness, that it was secondary. The only thing was attack. 90% players were only interested attack the king, sacrifices, combination, attack, tactics. But the superior players like Capablanca, Alekhine, Lasker, Reddy, these players, they knew that positional themes. Urwinstein, so they were not doing such kind of weaknesses. So 90% players, they will only go for attack and tactics. This is what happened. From an inferior position, now black is good. This is just bad. It's pushing pawns and giving squares. Would you believe? Would you believe that the knight on b3, poorly placed, is going for attack? No attack now. And don't tell me that he will bring the rook d2 and play h4. This is just lost. Olden days. But anyway, I will tell you another knight replace. Bad. When the pass pawn IQ advances, it becomes too much. You know, a player should not be afraid of isolated going pawn. Before the match with Spassky in 1972, for 1 year, Fischer only concentrated on his middle game improvement. So his team, they collected around 5,000 diagrams from right from Steinies to Petrosians. Continuously they worked and gave Fischer a lot of diagrams. And Fischer worked and he said that isolated pawn is nothing. No danger at all. You have to be very careful. But many people are simply afraid of playing IQP. And Fischer won the last game of the match with IQP only. It's all over. Heavy pieces and now bad king and a pass pawn. Simply finish. So IQP, you need not worry. For example, the last game of the match, 1972, I'll show you. Hurry. Sir, he has taken IQP. So, the about understanding a position, you need not be afraid of IQP. World Championship, Fisher has accepted. So, you play knight into knight and you solve. Black is solving all problems. If you play NC3, NC6, it is bad. Now this is solving all problems. You will never get time to bring exploit the dark square. That ending is bad. You say this ending is nothing. After this, you get nothing. This ending. Black rook will come here and then the center, two bishops and center. This ending is absolutely, harmless for black. Rook b8 will come. So you have nothing here in this position. Okay. So here, rook fe1. And it comes from another position also. It also comes from another endgame. I'll show you. Absolutely harmless position. You cannot take the d5 pawn because of a check. And now for the exchange is winning. Draw तो है हाथ में. Fisher draw was enough for Fisher, and he did not continue the game after something rook coming, and now the pawns are paralyzed. This is Fisher won this game because Spassky did not resume after resumption and the adjournment. I'll show you. Paralyzed. Simply the pawns are not moving. The adjourned position it did not resume. And if you are interested, I will give another example. Anand versus Siro. Similar situation. Exchange versus two pass pawns. Anand had the rook and Siro had bishop and two pass pawns. In the 2000 FIDE knockout final. So this position IQP is not a problem. IQP is absolutely no problem. And this structure comes, I will tell you, you can get this position from another opening also. Another opening also you will get this structure. See, I will show you, not on this also, I will show you another opening. Now, ND4, now he plays BB4. Now, knight into knight, pawn into knight. Now, the variation goes here. This I think bishop d3, d5. Take. Now castle. Now castle. Bishop g5. Now suppose you play some queen move, bishop g5, c6, and you play queen move. This is the same situation. Now I will play rook b8. With the idea, I want to move bishop. My threat is to move the bishop to a4 and then attack. I am putting pressure here. So if you play bishop into queen into pawn into this endgame, no problem. Whether you play next move, if you play some move like knight coming here, knight here, this is a better move than this. This is old move and bad. So you come here anyway. I think the bishop will come here, and after the move b3, we have the same structure. You see this kind of structure, this pawn and rook e8, we have the same structure here. Whether this diagram and this diagram almost similar. So Fisher had no problem and IQP accepted in the voluntarily. So he accepted. This is no danger. Okay. Now, art of combinative play. This is a old line, center holding variation. Not bad. It is not refuted, but basically it is against the principle, bringing the queen in the opening. The players having problem against two knights, will query variation. Suppose you are not happy, you are afraid of the tactics and theory, you can play. The players afraid of will query variation can play this line. And center holding variation. Knight a4 is bad. After bishop d3, knight will be trapped. Modern players would prefer to play c4 and then c3. White has an advantage out of the opening. Very passive play. I don't want to discuss the opening phase. I want to only go for the position where you create some combinative play. Now white is preparing to double the rook and dump the knight on f5. So his idea, I want to double the rook. I want to come here and double the rook and then knight f5. So he says no. Okay. Force rounds. Double pawn undouble. Anyway, anyway he is preparing for a similar setup. Anyway, king. Now if you play knight f5, I think the pressure is too much on the g6. It should win. So you cannot play knight into knight. It appears he has defended. 4 attack. So 4 defense. If you take, I will move the queen and you have to surrender the knight. Surrender the knight. Plus minus. These are in olden days, this kind of beauty was there. But nowadays, if you play, I will tell you, all this is a gem of a combination beauty. He stopped. See, I will tell you here. This kind of play is not now seen. Where is this opening stage? Now, modern players will not do the modern move knight here, and after d4, black is very comfortable. Check, and now you play knight c3. I will play knight into pawn. You play bishop d2. I will take and play d5. Getting no advantage. Okay, okay. He has played a move which is, in my opinion, अभी तक इतना खराब नहीं. It's okay. अभी भी ठीक है. ठीक है. ये भी ठीक है. Now all this is okay. Now this is bad. I agree. सेंटर होल्डिंग वेरिएशन अभी तक जो हुआ है कुछ इतना बुरा नहीं हुआ है. What is the idea? He wants to save the bishop. Idea, the knight is coming here, and then he will, if you play castle, he will play knight c4. And now with the idea, he will play next a4 and a5. And when you play a6, he will hit it. This is the strategic concept of white. Now a4 खेलेगा a5, and you will get bad structure, double bishop. So I can meet this. Why move like a6? Why? Why not pawn push? What is wrong? There is no knight c3 to come to b5. Now if you unpass, you lose the grip of center. My pieces will come fast. And now knight is not great. Now knight is not great. Now you play a4. Now you play a4. And now the play knight. I will play knight. I will not castle now. Now notice how I will handle the position. Knight. Now maybe you will play some move f5. Okay. Then I will play knight. Then I will play next move. Okay, you play bd2 knight. And then I'm looking for the square. Next I will castle, and maybe sometime I will come here. Maybe sometime I will come to this point, and then maybe I will come knight moves and then play f5, preparing knight moves, and I will prepare to play f5. So black has a good game. You need not do all these rubbish moves. So this is the whole point. By experience, you know. Today we know all this. Our experience in other variations helps us. So he simply got petrified. He simply got petrified about the move. That knight is coming, then a4 is coming. Ghost. It's a ghost in the mind. So simply after c5, you get nothing. After this move, and now another move. White has got a better game for without doing any effort. ये डमी हो गया अभी. ये सब डमी हो गया. डमी हो गया. और उसने 5-6 मूव किया, प्रिपेयर किया अटैक के लिए. Yes, that is Ernst Grunfeld. That you know the Grunfeld defense. तो उसने ही चालू किया. वही ग्रुनफेल्ड ने, जो आप आजकल ग्रुनफेल्ड डिफेंस देखते हैं, उसने ही चालू किया. हेलो पार्थ कुंतल रावल. Okay, I tell you, in the Olympiad that he started laughing and laughing. He was a young boy, he was only 17, so making fun and all these things. Okay, I will tell you now. Here, Slater and Mason. Carl Slater was a great player. Played for World Championship with Laskar also. White got opening small advantage already. These are all weak moves. So very well played. Now, white strategically is far superior. He wants to push the opponent to space b5, nd5. Will crush him. Pawn into pawn will lose. After queen takes pawn e4, queen e4 wins. So, without effort, white has got a positional advantage. Forced. Otherwise, queen jayega. Only forced. Now position is plus minus. All these things in olden days, modern player, even a 1500 player will not allow on this today. Now I will tell you the pawns are very important. This pawn is not so important. They are potential queen. Okay, white is clearly better. Superior minor piece and extra pawn. Extra pawn and a superior minor piece. So we have got a position. Now the pawn, the king is cut off, and the pawn is extra pawn. Should win easily. However, the technical aspect I will show you slowly. It is important that there are various type of audience or various type of players are watching. So even though there is extra pawn, the technique is also very important. Normally, if the pawn was on a file, suppose we put the pawn on the a2 and rook on a1, it is very difficult. If the pawn is rook is on the front, it is very difficult. But now there is no weakness, so the king can cross over. Don't think it is very easy even now. Now the king alone cannot go. The moment you go out, he will give a check and go there check, check. If you go again check, you have to return. So the king alone cannot advance. So you need the support of the rook. Check. Now don't block the pawn. Check. Now don't block the pawn. This is the point. Now if you play, for example, look here. For example, if you try to bring the rook here, rook here, rook here, the king will cross. Once the king crosses to this point, it is extremely difficult. For the defense, if the king joins, I don't think it is very difficult for white. So you need to keep the king cut off. For example, you come here to bring the rook here and then come. Then the king is coming. So this is an absolute fine technique. I have demonstrated. Maybe if you go back to, I mean, my episode 13, 14, 15, 17, in that kind of episodes early, I did a lot of rook and pawn. But anyway, this is just demonstration came from the game. King, check. Now if you come, no progress. Rook check. Now the rook will join. The point is, I will get a decisive tempo at right time. No time for you. You move the rook. Tempo. You cannot support. King cannot support. Now king comes. Rook check will finish. Or you king come. Here also rook check. King into pawn. Again rook c2 check wins. So this is a technique that I wanted to demonstrate. All this I have shown in my when I discussion of basic endgame. Maybe around episode, if you go back around 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and that I have to check exactly. I have discussed the typical rook endgames. So this is a very nice move. Please make a note, very note. This move is very nice, very good move. This move. Okay. Now you've seen Marokzi bind. I will show you another bind now. I will show you a different kind of bind. Pillsbury bind. This is now the Pillsbury bind. You cannot now dissolve that backward C6 pawn. Plus Pillsbury bind. Carpo and Lottier. Similar structure came. Bishop was awful placed. Knight is the boss there. White knight on C5 is the boss. The position is very bad for uh, black now. Why? Please find out why black is very badly placed now. पार्टिसिपेट करो आप भी. I stop the counterplay first. Welcome to take. The rook will join and destroy him. Rook will come, bishop will come, complete destruction. That this is a guard. ये guard को अपने आप exchange कर रहा है. खत्म हो गया. The position is anyway bad, but exchanging that, asking for a suicide, death wish, कुछ भी नहीं. बर्बाद हो गया ये. जिंदगी बर्बाद हो गया उसका. Pillsbury bind. अरे कुछ भी खेलेगा तो जाएगा. You play here h6 will be gone. So he played g6 and now h4 h5 h6. कुछ भी खेलेगा तो जाएगा. हिलता ही नहीं है. c6 छोड़ के मत जाना. क्वीन d8 में पहुंच जाएगा. जाएगा पहुंच. कुछ भी किया तो जाएगा. लॉस्ट. खत्म. The end game क्वीन f8 के बाद एंड गेम इज होपलेस. You cannot take that. Lost. So this is Pillsbury bind. rather. ये जो है कार्पो लॉटियर गेम में ऐसा ही हुआ. कार्पो लॉटियर. I'm sorry. यही है शायद. I think this is the game. Yeah, this is the game. Now, after the move, you have to exchange. Now, if you exchange it, after that queen into clearly better. Grip, queen c7 entry, knight e5. So, he plays. Now, wonderful. You cannot free. Black's life remains if he can get this equal. He will never get it. Now he wants to play that move. Never, not allowed. No, I'm not allowing that grip. Back rank is clear. So he played simple. And after decentralization, the queen enters, winning. Note that this is, at the moment, this is not great at the moment. He will play and then pass pawn will come. If you take a pass pawn. वो तो मंगलवार को 2 बजे आना. बुधवार को नहीं हो सकता है. क्या बुधवार को. मंगलवार को मैं हल्दी को बोला इसलिए. बुधवार को मैं छुट्टी रहता हूँ तो अच्छा होगा. बुधवार को हम हमारी आपकी हाजिरी होती है. अच्छा ठीक है. वो मंगलवार को आ जाओ. 600 रुपये कहती है लड़की. 300 नहीं नहीं नहीं. तो 500 ही. 100 रुपये दे देना. तीन आएंगे हम. पूरा का सब पूरा सब सब पूरा एक भी डस्ट नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है. हाँ ठीक है. 3 जन आएंगे ना तो 100 दे देना. अच्छा ठीक है. A grip. Now b5 is a threat. So even though the material is now, if you see, black is actually 6 pawn, white is 5 pawn. But this grip, this bad. Now you are not able to win, but slowly you will finish. Idea the same. I want to play h5, h6. So he stops. Now the king enters. हिलता ही नहीं है कुछ. If you push the pawn, a pass pawn. Bishop exchange and pawn into pawn, a pass pawn is coming. हो गया काम. हो गया. Immediate pawn push, there are some counterplay coming. If you do that, what happens? This bishop is unprotected. I think this is also should win the game. I don't know. But he wants to make sure that a break. The idea is to make a pawn push outside pass pawn. And white winning the game. I showed the game. Hello, Parvat Thakkar. 3 more games I will show. Dr. Taras was good with his knights. Dr. Taras played really good with his knights. Okay, the opening phase I leave, it is typical. After pawn into pawn, rook d1, I will recover. I will recover the pawn. So, in the game, Spassky versus I don't know the player that Spassky had got a game, but d5 came. So white is better. This is a thematic thing, and now e5 with a big advantage. Now, if you play the d5 square is bad, the diagonal is bad. Now e5 with a space. Typical thing. Not playing s3. S3 is bad. If you play s3, now there will be a compensation factor will come. Knight e5 will come. So playing good move. Okay, anyway it is bad. Anyway, I am going to take the knight. This is not working. Take on d4 and take on g4. So he plays bishop. Now, very good position. There is no guard near the king, and white has got a center and clearly better. Red threat, weaken. You have to weaken. You cannot play. You cannot play some move g6. But if you play other moves like f5, it is bad. Pawn into pawn and e6 gone. f6 means it is bishop into pawn check. Threat, bishop f6, queen h6. The position is disaster. It is a disaster. So the whole game I don't have. Okay, I will show you. I have not shown the whole game is not there, but white is plus. Okay, I will show you two more games quickly. Okay, two very important games. Harry Nelson Pillsbury was also a potential world champion. Great player, brilliant player. He had an absolute fantastic memory, and he could play blindfold chess brilliantly. Simultaneous blindfold. I mean, for example, now I will say position. Let us say I tell you Pillsbury. He will ask you tell the words in reverse order. Or I would say Goodmandasan. You tell the word, spell it and in reverse order. Or Nimzovich. So he used to go to the spectators. He will say, tell me a difficult long word. Then he will tell the alphabets in reverse order. He could read it. I would say something gifted talent like Shakuntala Devi. So Pillsbury was great. He could imagine and absolutely brilliant player. This is a bad variation. Olden days they used to play. The modern theory after knight f4, knight d4, it is the advantage. You cannot play d6 anymore. You cannot play. And if you play like this, then knight f5, white is better. And if you castle, then rook d1, there is a lot of problem. You have to play a move like this. This is not advised. The rook is ready to come. Immediate threat, and the rook is ready to come on the third rank. And now knight is coming. This is a bad position. Four pieces are already ready. One, two, three, four ready, and a bad pieces. So ये पुराना आजकल कोई नहीं खेलता है आजकल nowadays they play all bishop into knight pawn into and you get a good game or black solid game. So in this days he played d5 was very good here. Simply d5 black is a comfortable game. Double pawn is meaningless. You get activity. It is very important. You have to get freedom. So because of the opening knowledge is not there, white has got without any problem a fine game. Advantage for white. forced, otherwise piece जाएगा, forced, again forced. So white now double the rook and clear better game. Plus minus. Of course, the opening phase, White did not play well, but they were great in middle game. Even those players, if suppose they were today and you give them theory, then they become very strong GMs. Super talents. Hillsbury was a super chess talent. Whatever you do, it is bad now. C5 pawn will fall. And after that, D4 pawn. Once this pawn falls, the bishop becomes very powerful. No problem. No H5 is coming. कुछ आगे ये है ही नहीं. ये जो है, तो प्रॉब्लम है. Some score sheet is not there. It is not given further. I think there is something missing. I will leave this. I will leave this. The score sheet is missing. It is not the right move. It is not the correct move here. Something went wrong. Okay. One more game about end game. I'll show one more end game. I will go to the position straightforward. White is Mises, black is Resowski. Which year? I cannot read. Which year it is? 1935. Resowski was very young. The typical position white is now badly placed. The superior minor piece and centralized position of black gives him an advantage. You know, Resowski was a prodigy. He, without having any teacher or any chess book, he knew lot of things. Now, he knew the superiority of bishop over knight when pawns are on both wings. He knew the centralization and typical pawn structure. He was a genius. Resowski was a great player. And he has written one good book also. I don't remember the book. It is, I think, uh, I think Art of Positional Play. The name of the book by Resowski. 35 games, very good games. Art of Positional Play. Now you cannot play rook queen into pawn because rook check. Small combination. Rook check is there. This ending, even though it is king is closer, it is lost. Black is winning the game. You can't play queen check, that is bad. Now calculation. At the moment I play queen check, he will come quickly. But after the move pawn push, now this has become a target. And now systematically calculation. Queen exchange, you know, if you take the queen, now I am coming in time. Now you have to take, and now one, two, three. By that time I am reaching there. Three moves I am reaching. So you cannot do. So here he plays queen and finish, 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 finish. So you have to see that at the moment he was queen exchange at the moment is not correct. At the moment is not correct. But after the move It is I'm coming faster and winning the game. So I showed you, and one more game I want to show you anyway. I think I will discuss whatever next at 2:30. Okay. So thank you very much, friends, being with me. I will be back at 2:30, and possibly I will change the theme also. Some middle game theme and some end games also I will discuss. A practical end games. Okay. तब तक सबको मेरा नमस्कार. Take care and bye. Hmm.